light is on.
Well, that comes on. Yeah, lights on. Hey, this is what's wild in New Hampshire by wildlife biologist Eric Hoff. Hey, I'm with Kyle Lombard from New Hampshire Division of Forest and Lands, maybe. Kyle, tell us, give us some background of what you've been up to and who you are, and we're going to talk about. Look at these trees right here. The leaves, they've been burnt. Did you have a forest fire here?
No.
No.
We had a frost. Is what we had.
Yeah.
Probably the worst frost that I've seen in 35 years.
Wow.
Statewide, the oak got absolutely cooked. It was last Thursday, and the temperatures across the state got down 22 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, in Epsom it was in the mid-20s.
Yeah, so you start seeing frost damage in the oaks around 26 degrees.
Okay.
And boy, anything below that, it really hits them hard.
And I see the beech trees at my house are kind of singed as well.
Yeah, it's just if the phenology of the tree is lined up just perfectly with the weather, and they're in that very tender, sensitive stage.
Magnolias look dead?
Yes.
Ooh, they got hit really hard.
There are certain plants that just got clobbered. I'm afraid to say that the apple orchards probably got wiped out this year.
Get out.
The blooms all got cooked.
My crab apple tree, and I have like 4 or 5 that I planted 30 years ago. Last year I didn't have a one, and this year the tree, I never saw so many blossoms just before this hit. So you think they're all...
I think they all got burnt.
We're going to lose our apples this year. Wow.
No, there won't be any peaches in New Hampshire probably, unless somebody was smart enough to go out and cover them.
Okay, all right.
So the oaks, so the oaks all across the state, all those brown oaks you see on the side of the roads, all the little 1 and 2 inch leaves just got frozen.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen to these trees? Are they dying?
No, they'll refoliate. By August, it'll look normal.
Okay.
I think we're going to have a lag or 1 year absence of acorns.
Okay.
So the acorns that were already set for this year, that were going to be mature this year, are probably going to be fine.
Okay.
I think.
So that'd be on white oak or?
White oak and red oak.
And red, both.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I think that all the flowering, the male and female flowers this year got frost damage.
Okay.
So,
we didn't have any oaks last year, did we? It seemed like they were spotty last year or
for
something.
Acorns?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it seemed just my memory trying to
Yeah.
cough something up.
Yeah.
So what's happening to our beach? last summer about this time or spring, you announced that we had a new disease on our beech trees for the first time. It just hit dairy like a couple of weeks before. And what's happened to this beech leaf disease? What's going on with that?
Yeah, so beech leaf disease was first found in Ohio 10 years ago. It took them a couple years to figure out exactly what was going on, and it turned out to be a nematode.
Okay.
We don't really know where it's from exactly, but we know it's from the Pacific Rim somewhere.
Okay.
It's very similar to a couple of species in Japan.
Huh.
So it came in off the St. Lawrence Seaway, and it sort of hung out in Ohio for quite a few years.
Yeah.
Spread across the east, came to New Hampshire last year, and now it's just exploding everywhere. We're finding infected trees in sites basically from the Lakes region south. We don't know anything north of the Lakes region yet, but
wow. And our beaches are so important, as it was mentioned, as the former bear biologist. We have almost 7,000 bears in New Hampshire now, and the beaches produce beech nuts every 2 to 3 years. Looking at 40 years of records, if we lose our beaches, our bear numbers are gonna fall. Our sows depend on the beech nuts to be healthy enough to produce cubs. So this is going to impact our bear population if we lose the beeches. So what's the probability of losing our beeches?
Well, we're definitely going to lose some, if not a lot. And so it's a nematode that feeds in the buds.
Okay.
And so as it feeds in the buds, they elongate and they just don't work properly.
Okay.
They're all messed up when they come out of the bud in the spring.
All right.
And so that just drops the vigor of the beech tree.
Huh.
And so anything with low vigor to begin with is just another straw that broke the camel's back.
Wow.
And so trees, mature trees with beech leaf disease are lasting a long time.
Okay.
It's the understory beech that seems to be dying really quickly. The stuff that's got
no
beech bark
replacements.
disease, Yeah, so the trees that have got beech bark disease, they're already suppressed from shade. Now they get hit with beech leaf disease, and those are the ones that are going out in 2 or 3
Well,
years.
long term, we can expect probably to lose our beeches.
Well, we're certainly going to lose a lot of the understory beech, yeah, for sure. Unless they can come up with a control between now and the next 10
let's
years.
hope. Yeah.
Right now, there's nothing labeled as for a pesticide, and they don't know of any biocontrol.
Wow.
Yeah.
So historically, our forests have been very dynamic with some of the diseases. I mean, we can talk Dutch elm disease. Well, looking right here, the chestnuts.
Yeah,
so here's a chestnut plantation here. We're at the Fox State Forest in Hillsboro. Awesome place to visit. Lots of trails here. Come over to Fox Forest. And this is where Kyle hangs out here some of the time. Other trees that being impacted right now by things in New Hampshire?
Spongy moth.
Spongy moth.
Of course, it just happens to be on oak.
Yep.
And so wherever
a double whammy.
Yeah. So wherever spongy moth, I keep calling it gypsy moth because I can't. Been at it a long time.
Yep.
So it's hard to switch over to spongy moth. But it is.
That's old squaw and long-tailed ducks.
Yeah, exactly.
Same thing.
So spongy moth has been bad for a couple of years, and where the frost hit, I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, the trees.
We might lose more trees.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's hard to tell.
Tough year on the trees.
Yeah.
So no apples, no beeches.
We've got some good rain, so
Well,
at least we're not in drought conditions.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, last year was year 5 out of the last 7 for a drought. Let's hope we don't have one this year.
So far, so good with that.
Especially the trees stressed as they are.
Yeah.
Hemlocks, Willia delgage. What's
Hemlock,
happening with that?
There's a positive. So,
okay. Good.
We had a serious winter kill of our hemlock Willia delgage population.
Good.
Yeah. So
how far north has that spread now?
What the most northern known outbreak of adelgid is just in the town south of the White Mountain National Forest.
Of course, it's south of the White Mountains that the hemlock is most common.
Southern Grafton County, across the northern end of Winnipesaukee, and sort of just south of the White Mountains.
Yeah.
And we had a massive kill from wind injury. Yeah.
Okay.
And in most places, 98% kill
of the spongy moth.
No.
The delgid. I'm sorry. Yeah, back onto a delgid.
And so that's good. That gives us a couple of years reprieve.
Yeah, we need our hemlocks. Our hemlocks, by the way, if you're a deer hunter, hemlock is the winter habitat of our deer. It's the deer yards in central and southern New Hampshire. If we don't have a hemlocks, where are they going to spend their winters? Maybe they can go with me to Florida.
Yeah.
Gonna have to.
They probably wouldn't come back.
Any other things cooking with our forest and lands here?
Ash borer.
Oh yes.
Is cooking along. We finally found it in Coos County this winter.
Okay, really, way up there.
Very southern Coos County.
Wow.
It's traveling a little slower up there.
Okay.
I think our winter temperatures are forcing it into a 2-year life cycle, and so it's spreading a little bit slower across the northern part of the state.
So basically, our ash trees are disappearing.
Yeah, certainly in the southern part of the state, they're gonna, the large ones.
Yeah, and ash, they produce seeds for wildlife just like all these other ones. Wow.
But the good news there is that our biocontrol program is working really well.
Okay. Oh, good.
We're putting 3 species of parasitoids. They're little teeny little wasps that lay their eggs on the emerald ash borer.
Okay. All right.
And so
you're seeing some results of that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's spreading on its own. All 3 species have been found to make it through our winters.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So
we get some hope there.
Yeah, there is a lot of hope.
Wow,
so 20, 30 years from now, I feel like
you can still make baseball bats.
Yeah. So I like to think in the next 30 or 40 years, we'll have naturalized that EAP.
Okay.
And so people that want to manage for ash in their forests still can.
Okay.
Right now, they're going to lose the large stuff.
Okay.
But managing for smaller regeneration in ash is a good thing to do.
Okay. All right.
Because we think we're going to be able to protect it.
Wow, nice.
Yeah.
So there's some hope there. Good. Good to go out here. This one segment with some good news because we've had such bad news between the frost is going to impact. Some trees won't survive that, probably.
Yeah, the trees that are already under stress and have had 2 or 3 years of
drought,
spongy moth drought, could be in trouble. Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to see these trees here, this plantation. Let's hope we can bring back some chestnuts. That would be awesome.
Right.
They were one of the most common trees in the forest historically,
They tell me that anywhere that you see oak today is where chestnut was in the old days.
Wow.
Yeah. So it would be nice to bring it back.
Yeah. All right, Kyle. Thank you very much. I also appreciate the time you have and your knowledge, and really appreciate it. This is wildlife biologist Eric Orr for What's Wild in New Hampshire.